on the team. How can you not like it?
That's true. You've got the man, the myth, the legend, the Fortnite man, who was kind of going in a lot of those fights like an absolute madman. But as I was saying at the end of the game, like when it works out, it works out. You know, sometimes you may question mark what they're doing, but a lot of the time it does work out. It kind of reminds me quite a lot of watching Amar. A lot of the times I feel like there is some times where you watch what that guy does and you go, what are you doing? And then a few seconds later you're like, oh, that's what he's doing, and it ends up being a massive boon for the team. So I'm excited to see what Kalmychata can do, even if they don't come out on top of this series. Like, I think even through a lower bracket run, these guys can do quite a lot of damage and get quite deep.
Yeah, me too. I really feel like the thing with Amar that's always stuck out to me is how like decisive he is in his plays. He's always certain, and it's like instant reaction of this is the right play to do. And I think the team has that. Like they're all, if someone makes a call, they just commit to it, regardless of if it's like good or bad or whatever they might think. I still need to see that individually from him, though. I think that's what sets Amar apart as being like one of the best players in the world. Yeah,
very, very talented individuals, but we've got some individuals here that we need to start talking about. So right now we are looking across at the draft. You know, we're speaking in the green room about everyone wanting first pick because there's so many broken things that are floating around, and Liga team decided to go with the Dirge this time around. So AA still there, Nature's Prophet still there as well. Quite a few heroes. Bristleback is another one that hasn't been banned. It was 100% pick ban coming into this series.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised about that. It's not really something that they've played, so maybe this is just something that Liga team was just like, bro, they just play what they like, and they're not liking Bristleback even when it's available, so let's just not contest it. Mars again, sure. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if I'm them, I ban out Snapfire because they literally ran this lane, I believe. Maybe it was Darkseer Snapfire, but anyway, into an Undying. But I feel like Fortnite Man is very comfortable on his Mars as well, so you can just use that. And then what else could you look to potentially have into this? I mean, I wouldn't mind an early-ish Death Prophet pick as well with an AA ban, just because Mirage can play it and Ike has played it as well, so it's not even like a full middle to the mid lane.
Has Mirage also played the Mars as well, or is that purely just Fortnite Man?
Just Fortnite Man.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. Seems like they've got an arsenal behind them about how they want to play.
Now, again, yeah, good ban on the DP. Could you into an Undying? It feels kind of weird, but again, like, I wouldn't hate the Chaos Knight again here, just because again you don't lane into the Undying. You like the CK is so fast that you can just pull. You know, like 320 movement speed, I think it has. Maybe it's even 325, something ridiculous. So it's just one of those things where you just don't have to lane and you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, it's 325 versus Undying's, I want to say 300. Yeah, so you're always going to be able to come out on top in terms of that.
Yeah, and I mean that's something that you touched on going into that first game. Was Kalmychata just seemed to really want to stick to their lane and drive that lane as fast as they possibly can. And if that means picking Ponlo the Chaos Knight again, I mean, they did a double melee lane last time against a TB plus Oracle. Again, not as disparaging as something along the lines of like a Dirge, what they can do to double strength melee cores. But if they just do what they did last time and just constantly pull, you know, Ponlo can continue to walk around the map and do his own thing and get that experience somewhere else, then it can still work out very similar.
I'm just picking the Nature's Prophet here. I don't care. It's too good.
Yeah, I think you just ban whatever and you just pick Nature's. Do you ban AA and just pick Nature's?
Yeah,
I mean, AA and Dirge feels like a pretty bad support duo though, right?
It does, actually. So maybe I wouldn't be worried as much about it, but I don't know. It's just way too good. Yeah, sure. Storm can pretty easily kill something like a Nature's Prophet. What's another option they could go for? I know they're known Bane pickers. Disruptor as well. Decent against an Undying. Willow, okay. It's not bad, right? Terrorize into the arena for a bunch of free damage. Brambles, very easy to set up for spear combinations. Again, you can just go boots and all the wave. Keep saying it, but it's the way to answer it, so
yep.
It's certainly a possibility. For Liga team, I feel like we're focusing on Kalmychata a fair amount, and for good reason. You know, they do play a few unorthodox heroes. I wonder what they're going to be considering here. Like, is this... Could they just pick a Pangolier early enough into the draft? I wouldn't hate it. Don't hate a Kunkka either, though.
Mm-hmm. I like the Kunkka in response to the Dark Willow Mars combination. You can always just throw the boat into the middle of the arena. Even if you don't have vision, that's perfectly okay. Like, you just be able to get that run buff flowing for the rest of your team and really kind of have these tanky heroes that want to fight in an area. Dirge and Kunkka. Obviously, Kunkka is very good at keeping people in an area. So... nice little combination there. And then just going to go with the Muerta, just a hero that has that extra bit of damage in regards to it. Can also be a flexible hero as well. The calling can be very, very strong against a lot of these heroes like the Dark Willow and the Mars. So liking what Liga team has given to... Whoa. Is Omni-Knight a hero?
Yeah, they play it as a position 5 fairly frequently. Okay. The thing is, though, like... It's not like Decay is dispellable, and I mean, maybe they just want to avoid a lot of the early damage just through the Heavenly Grace. The Kunkka might be able to dish out onto them. I'm not sure, but it is something that Ike has played a decent amount. So, sorry, the Repel, not Heavenly Grace. Changes the name all the time. With this Muerta,
back to Repel.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this Muerta is going to be 4 or if it's going to be a 1. Like, into the Mars, playing a ranged 1 feels a little weird, but again, you're playing with an Undying, so that's probably what they want to do anyway. And you don't really care about, like, Omni-Knight ulti, for example. You're still going to be able to do damage into it. Same sort of thing with Sven with Warcry. Like, you're still going to be able to do damage into it as long as you can get things done prior to the BKBs coming out, for example. And they do still AA. Okay, I mean, if it's against an Omni-Knight, I could totally understand it. And it solidifies that it's going to be a Muerta 1 as well. Mm-hmm. So...
It just feels so weak to me.
Do you run Undying as a 4? Like, I know against an Omni and a Sven, it feels pretty good, but also you kind of want it against the Muerta. Sorry, with the Muerta.
Yeah, and I guess Dirge Kunkka lane, does that... I mean, potentially could be a pretty deadly lane. You know, you just get the Decay stacks up, the Kunkka gets some free farm, gets to that level 5, hit somebody with an X-Torrent combo, and you've basically killed them with a Tombstone setup. So, and then it could definitely be something that they want to try and go down. But we'll see how they do shore up their lanes. I feel like over all the years that we've seen these drafts like this, and there's a very weak support duo, to me, it just feels like that's just a recipe for disaster. At least they've gotten out a lot of the heroes that really would be able to abuse this kind of support duo. Your Shadow Fiends, your Lenas, your Terrorblades, where, you know, you just have these supports that don't really do much to you, and you can kind of just run over the top of them. So I like how they rounded up with the Puck. They've got a lot of team fight for the side of Liga, and I think that's a big boon in their back pocket, is they have so much team fight and so much area setting that the Muerta can pop ulti and just stand there and just shoot.
I'm not sure what these last 2 bans were all about with the Lifestealer and the Ursa. I really don't feel like they were ever going to be able to be picking those sorts of heroes. Like, it felt pretty obvious that Muerta was going to be a 1. Now at this point, I'd probably go for something like a Pangolier, just something that is able to reliably start team fights and just roll back and forth over whether it be the Puck or the Muerta or the Undying, just to be able to disrupt a lot of these team fights. I feel like
you go the Dragon Knight? Because there are some half-decent heroes on the Liga team against the Dragon Knight, but I feel like that lane just sets you up for so much success, just gives you that another avenue for initiation in combination with the Mars.
Even Ember, but I don't know how I feel about Ember into I guess you have a decent amount of magic damage against the Muerta, right? But yeah, DK works, Pango works, Ember works. I'd be fine with any of them.
We'll see
Tiny,
what they want
even?
to go down. Yeah, tiny for Mirage could be very good.
Anything that just does AoE stun that can like get onto the backlines.
Yeah, that's basically the criteria I was looking for. It's just another AA killer where, like, you know, you can get Mars to set up much more of a team fight circle for the Sven to start hitting phase. Whereas if you just get one other hero that can kind of just jump towards AA and even, you know, worst case, just spook him a little bit, you know, give him the heebie-jeebies.
I have a lot of faith in Ike in the way that he's going to be able to play this, but he's going to be priority number one for the Conquer and the Puck, right? Like, they just need him out of these fights, because if he's alive, whoever Muerta's attacking, he's just going to repel him. And if you've got Pierce the Veil going, it's going to do basically nothing.
Let's see what they want to go for here. Kalmychata. I feel like Liga teams' draft is relatively well-rounded. I think they are lacking a little bit of the lockdown, but with the calling, X-Mark, Torrent. Okay, this is the Ember Spirit. Yeah, I mean, the three options that you put forward, I feel like were all perfectly okay. This just gives them that little bit of extra area lockdown as well, a little bit of that extra magic damage to try and take down the water, which is a 4. It's a 3 Dirge, and it's a position 1 Conquer.
That makes a lot more sense to me. Okay. Just to have the Undying into the double strength lane, you know, like get rid of the Omni Knight, get rid of the Sven, makes a lot of sense. Really does slow down Rinsik's farming potential. When you said it's a 4, I was like, hold on, it's an Ember 4, but no, it's a, you know, it's working out that way. And I guess it does make sense as well, just having the Conquer into the Mars as well, because I was saying, you know, one where it does make sense, but you also run the issue that you have where it's like, well, as soon as you pop the arena, you can't really do anything as a ranged core, and that's often the time that you're going to be using Pierce the Veil, so on and so forth. I do like the Ember Spirit ever since they buffed the Chain Gang. I think it can affect up to 4 units now, which is kind of nuts. So I really want to see what they're able to make happen with it. Yeah, 4 units. So if you're able to lock down multiple people inside of an arena with the spends done, it just makes it so much easier for all of this chaos to happen, basically. And that's really where I feel Kalmychata have been thriving.
Yeah, and especially with the Ember Spirit as well, it really does kind of abuse the lack of lockdown that you've got as well. So, you know, maybe if they're using a lot of this these extra spells on the Ember Spirit, then that just gives the Sven the free time. And obviously they've got Ike on this Omni Knight, so the limited amount of lockdown, yeah, you may catch Mirage in a couple of times, but you have to be very, very careful about utilizing it on him if the Omni Knight is around. So there's a lot of good avenues that we've got here for Kalmychata, but I also am really enjoying this Liga draft. Obviously outside of the support duo, that's something that I think I can kind of look past for this game. I just kind of like the way that they can kind of play around all of their team fight ultis. I think if all 5 of their heroes are pressing their spells, I know this sounds kind of stupid, but if all 5 of their heroes are pressing their spells in a team fight, it feels pretty hard to fight into. You know, like a lot of these ultimates are very kind of scary, and there's a lot of things that can go right for them.
What about this first team fight, potentially?
Let's see. Mirage is the one that's going to walk forward. Ike is basically just challenging them. Everyone just said, all right, see you later, mate. And they say goodbye.
I'm interested to see how this one plays out. I think a big part of the success is going to be off the back of Mirage specifically. I mean, this is a great Mage Slayer game. You know, when you consider you're going up against a Kunkka with Tidebringer, remember it's the spell damage that you're reducing, so that's going to be incredibly effective at just reducing a lot of the damage coming back that way. I'm really interested to see how Malik is going to go in his lane as well, considering, again, going up against a couple of strength heroes. As an Undying, shouldn't have any issue with picking up a ton of farm here. It's just a matter of where is the actual kill threat going to come from.
Alright, so Hollow and Fortnite Man just tried to put the pressure on you as he was going for the creep block here, so they are just going to push the creeps underneath the tower here for Mr. Fortnite Man to actually get himself that rebound. of the next wave. So see how these lanes go. Mirage versus Erase. Mirage did a good job in the first game. There was a little bit more of the support rotations coming in the favor of Erase. So have to keep mindful of that in this Puck versus Ember matchup.
Mono's been so annoying. He brought Respect down to like 50% HP already, and it meant that he wasn't actually able to get the block off onto that hard camp the first time around. So very nicely done, and he's just trying to harass them from afar as long as he can, although he misses that Shadow Realm hit, but
yeah,
you know what? No one's perfect.
It's alright. We'll forgive it. Especially with a lot of these lanes going relatively well so far for Liga. Morales is doing a good job of just making sure that Ike is just not able to get in his face. And I guess that is kind of the positive of changing around how these heroes are situated in the game, right? Like making Malik having this core undying just means that having this range support, you can actually start to play this lane properly and put a lot of pressure on Rinsick, because that's one of the big things that we saw in that first game, right? Was Rinsick was relatively untouched, had a decent amount of these stacks to fall back to, and was able to just farm up a storm and didn't die. So
yep, and that's what an Undying is going to do. Like, he's kind of the anti-carry in this situation. As soon as they saw that it was, you know, the double strength, it just really sold it for them. You know, this is the way that we need to be going about this.
It is going to be a very hard lane for Rinsick, but it's all about the transition out of the lane for me for these core Undyings.
Hold on, Morales might have been in a bit of danger, but will end up getting away.
Yeah.
Doesn't TP all the way back to base.
And he went to the tier 1.
Yep. Should be able to get back in time.
So the real question that I have for this Undying is what kind of build is he going to go? Is it just like auras? Like, do you just build Greaves plus Pipe and a Crimson Guard and you just kind of press the buttons? Like,
it's hard to say, right? Like, a lot of the times people like buying even a Big Dagger just to be able to really get in there.
He's in lots of trouble here. Lots of X marks as well. So Fortnite Man is going to get pulled back, and it will be the Tidebringer that will claim the first victim. So Fortnite Man just staying a little bit too far out there, and an early level in the X marks the spot gets the kill there for you.
Nicely done. Good value from just the 1 point into it. Actually a little surprised at how well Erase is doing in this mid lane. Most of the time you pick an Ember Spirit to be able to counter out the Puck, but it's basically a full wave of creeps ahead of this Ember Spirit right now.
He's doing a good job. Just keeping nice and even. I think the biggest thing for me is Malik is really starting to streak ahead. Right now, Rinsick, who's really starting to struggle, and potentially seeing with this fight in the bottom side, they want to try and make the go here onto Ponlo, so they will get the cold feet, the Dark Realm, the Shadow Realm. We'll be able to at least keep Ponlo safe for now, and yeah, Rinsick is really starting to feel it. You just see Ike made that rotation towards the middle lane, trying to secure a few more of these runes, and Rinsick is just copying it, and there's not really much that he can do here. He's trying to hope to see if they can try and get this kill here on Amorales, and they will just be able to walk out, and Rinsick will just say, see you later, and Ike, it is all up to you, buddy, to see if you can get this kill, but the zombie slow is a little bit too much, and Ike, once again, is just copying all of this damage. So they use a lot of spells from both these two teams, and nothing really much came of it.
He's going to need to walk all the way back to base as well on the Sven, just to be able to have some HP and mana to be able to contest into this lane. It's almost getting to the point where you just want the full magic wand, or, you know, that little bit of extra survivability for the lane because of how much Malik has just been spamming.
And we'll see what the recovery plan is going to be here for
Cold Feet.
Cold Feet combos is doing so much work for them. Fortnite Man copying a lot of damage once again from that Tidebringer, and is
Tidebringer in 1 second
here. Close but no cigar.
I mean, Admiral's Rom is such a busted passive to give the Conqueror. It's like, well, every now and then we're just going to make you take 20% less damage. Oh, and you move faster too.
Okay, that's
helps.
a big kill to be able to get in the top lane. Mike with, what, 2 levels of purification? Yeah, just bonked him.
I believe so. Just need the 1 point in the purity, really. You're not really looking to just right-click contest as actually a little bit of the business here is actually going in onto the enemy.
They get the level 6 beforehand, and that is a quick kill there from Erase. Ponlo is at least here trying to contest, but there is just so many heroes here in this mid lane, and as you said, just getting that regen rune just means that now Erase not only gets that kill, will now have full HP and mana, and Ponlo walked into a very awkward situation because he wanted to try and take Respect down and walk away, but this is his life as well, so a big early lead here for Liga.
Every single lane is going incredibly well for them.
Yep.
It's hard to see an avenue for them to be able to come back from this big of an early deficit as well. Like, I see no stacks being built up. I see, you know, you don't have a power rune to be able to play around with. No big item timings are going to be coming anytime soon. Of course, we're only 7 minutes in, but even then, like, triple bracer for Fortnite Man. He just wants to try and stay on his own in this lane for as long as possible, have a bunch of extra regen for himself, and I mean, maybe once they start getting the phase boots, they're going to have a little bit of extra damage to pump back the other way, as the race should be fine.
Just gets away from that. So, for me, it's really about these first couple of rotations, whether it be from Fortnite Man or whether it be from Mirage in that mid lane. So we'll see who walks where to take a bit of pressure off. Ike is trying to soak up all of this experience in the top lane, trying to get towards that level 6.
I know they're playing it for fun, but they are, I mean, not doing like the little things like swapping out their magic wand when they're using the bottle and things of that nature. So I wonder if this early start might have gotten them rattled a little bit, because I know that's something that they would normally do. Hopefully,
See
for
what
their
the game
sake,
plan is.
luck's on their side. They really need this power rune to be able to deny away from the puck, most importantly, and that might mean that Mirage can just be left on his own for a little bit more, you know? Like, he doesn't need people standing right there. He's got the raindrops, he's got the bottle with a shield rune in it. Should be A-okay.
Again, fairly passive early game for both these two teams. As you said, Mirage now with that shield rune means that he can play a little bit more self-sufficient in these lanes.
Only just walked past a sentry ward twice, I think. I'm not sure how he couldn't see that one. That's blocking the hard camp in the Ancients area on the dive side, but well, fairly successful as Rinsik is even just getting bullied out by the enemy Pos 5. Lucky for him, no Ice Blast available just yet. And Ike's actually going to try and cut some waves, maybe? Try and prevent them from losing this tower early on, because Rinsik is really going to need these areas along the top side of the map to be able to farm, but they know that this is coming. They know the lane has gone very well, so Respect has placed an Observer Ward up near the Twin Gate, an Observer Ward that's going to, you know, catch him out when he's trying to move back and forth between those camps to farm. I think he's just trying to double up these waves so that it does push in a little bit more aggressively.
Deal with this as much as you can, and again, Fortnite Man just goes down in the bottom side. Full boat torrent combination, and Yu is just at such a high level right now. It's very hard for them to try and contest him.
Again, it just comes down to what do they do is the thing for me. Like, how are you supposed to come back into this? We've got Mirage going for a Blade Mail coming through next, so you know, is that going to be what recovers this game for you? Are you just going to really, I mean, we know that they're good at like dangling themselves out there as like something threatening. Actually gets the amp damage as well on Mirage.
I'm going to try and see if they can get this extra kill here onto Erase, but with the extra pressure. Oh, Mirage. Very, very close.
Didn't end up using the magic wand just yet. Would that have been enough? No. A chip best with some mana regeneration, so wouldn't have had that extra damage needed to be able to take out the puck. Still though, done a pretty good job over the past 2 power runes to be able to deny them away from erase. Of course, a kill would be
Malik.
better.
They're going to try and make the go here onto the Dirge, and they will put a lot of emphasis on trying to take him down. And they will eventually get rid of him. They give it to Mirage, and they will give the Tombstone to Rinsick. And the Ceaseless Dirge will just mean that Malik will respawn.
Kunka's in an
Malik
arena.
aware that he respawned? Yes.
Okay, eventually.
Just he was
Fortnite Man
AFK for a moment. Again, Fortnite Man goes down.
But it was inside the Radiant jungle. You know, it's not like he died in the lane, so it does drag you away a little bit from that area. And by the way, he is going for a Radiance on this Kunkka, so already super hard to kill, and just got a lot of that passive damage coming through as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Somehow, though, the net worth lead is shrinking. The result of all of this. I mean, mostly the result of Sven just being able to have a little bit of time to be able to run back into the jungle. I think he might have got that doubled up creep wave at the time that was pushing in, although like in a bit of a precarious position here.
It's going to see if we can TP away here, but they've got enough damage to be able to take him down. The repel and the TP out was a bit ambitious. So
Still though, like, you had to use Dream Coil for that, and AA Blast, and you got the Power Rune. Erase misses the Brambles, so to survive through that one, otherwise he might have been in a little bit of danger. So little wins coming through. Like, yes, Pike dies, but it's your 5. That's kind of your job. Your Sven is farming. You used a couple of ultimates. They have only just taken their first tower. So it's not really out of the question for Kalmychata to be in a reasonable position at, let's say, the 15 or so minute mark. I mean, you still haven't got any of your first big items coming through just yet. Blade Mail, about 500 gold for the Ember Spirit. Fortnite Man working towards a Link Dagger for himself. Still about 1600 gold away, so it'll be quite some time. And Rinsick still only has the Mask of Bandits to be able to play around with, so still plenty of potential for scaling. And they're just going to put Rinsick out here as Fortnite Man, unfortunately for his sake, goes down for a 5th time, 0-5 and 0.
0-5-0 is not a start that you want here on Fortnite Man. Oh my god, what a beautiful dead shot there from Morales. And they do not want to have that smoke. Walking up into the high ground where you've got no vision, walking into a pot can be very, very scary. So they will just keep me out. Unfortunately, Morales has the dead shot. So Ponlo, you will be the sacrifice. So
You'll even get the D-Ward off as well. Made sure to place it on the low ground so it would be out of range of the sentry up on that high ground, but another sentry just ends up getting rid of that one. So how quickly things change. 2k net worth lead, balloons out to 4 once again. It's
just at the point where, you know, you're going to see a few more of these items start to come up for Liga. You've already got the full armlet, getting ever so close to that Radiance. Like, you is just going to be such a problem. Would have loved to have seen Malik go for a halberd instead of Crimson Guard early on here, but Crimson fulfills the same role.
maybe just
I feel
thinking
Crimson's
that,
better against lots of small instances of physical damage rather than large, small
like
amounts of
what
large
Sven's
physical
capable of,
damage.
yeah. I get what you mean. Maybe it's
Same
just for his
vein.
own survivability, you know. Lets him stick out there, lets him try and take away, or he might be scouting for stacks that the Sven might be able to be farming up at this point in time.
Alright,
Malik might die here, but never mind. Probably going to be going back the other way. Oh, nice dodge.
oh,
nice try.
he did not dodge out on the AA Ice Blast, getting clipped by the debuff. He does lose his life, and Liga are just doing a fantastic job at just continuing to keep this beatdown going, and this is what I was talking about when I said I really enjoyed their draft. I feel like they've got a lot of synergy between their heroes outside
Are they really
of
gonna
the
fight
support
this?
duo.
I mean, maybe just trying to protect their tower, but Fortnite Man TPing back. Maybe he just wants to quickly shove out this lane as well, knowing that they don't have the Dream Coil, they don't have the Ice Blast. That'll bring him a whole lot closer towards that Blink Dagger. So again, they're approaching the point where they can actually look to try and make some sort of team fight happen. You've got the Urn of Shadows, you've got the Blade Mail finished up. Not really close to the Blink Dagger on the Sven, but I think if he can get up to level 12, he might still just look to join in with the rest of the boys, and they're going to try and win a team fight around that mid tier 1 tower, I think. Maybe look to prioritize the power rune first.
In these next couple of fights, all it takes is you to turn up. I think
he's got the radius now as well.
Very problematic, yeah. Armlet Radiance at 16 minutes. Like, how do you kill him? I honestly don't think you do. Without him killing multiple people.
They've only got a little bit of time to be able to do it. Gets the deny off on the tower, so that's good.
Okay.
Question on my mind is just, where is Fortnite Man? You know, like, Courier's coming out to him now. He wants to try and get these creeps pushing in onto the tower, but he has to be very careful with his positioning. He's walking up into exactly where Malik is. Might be okay. They actually cancelled the TP on Kunkka, I believe. No, he actually still showed up. But he's going to be able to get away in time.
He definitely hung around.
They did, but they see Rinsik farming here. Maybe they choose to go for it. He's very close to that Blink Dagger himself, just about 120 gold.
Okay, Ike in the middle lane, seeing if they can try and get this fight going, but it is a lot of this stun duration that just goes in, and there is so much damage for them to deal with. And his Ancient Apparition hero seems like he is just a pretty good hero in combination with Dirge. Just he hits the Decay, Ancient Apparition hits the Bone Chill or the Death Rhyme. And you just have no HP. Your HP is just gone, and then you get Ice Blasted, and then you take one bit of damage from a spell, and you're dead.
It's just the dream coil for mine, right? Like, at this point in the game, you don't have BKB, so you can't run out of it or do anything to be able to contest against it. So it means Boat's always going to hit, AA Blast is always going to hit. You have the potential of being dead shot and snapping the coil. The calling is always going to hit. So what other options do you really have? And plus, on top of all of this, you got the Ice Vortex just buffing up the magic damage that everyone's taking. So I'm a little surprised that they went for a fight at that point in time, because you need Rinsik there. He needs to be the one, not necessarily starting the fights, but just being there to be able to jump on anyone that's even slightly out of position. Like, you would take Amarallis at this point.
You need something. You need
that's the one.
And that is a lot that Rinsik just got. That's a lot of cash money. How much did he get out of that? Almost 1,000 gold.
Yep.
All right, Rinsik feeling good with that opening kill with the gold strength.
That was Puck's Blink Dagger reveal as well, so wasn't able to get anything off the back of that. Has an Arcane Rune as well, which should still persist after the after he comes back from death. So you're still with the potential to be able to make another play, but just gives them a tiny bit of breathing room to be able to say, all right, well, we've gotten through one fight, we've slowed them down a little bit, closing in the net worth gap a little bit, and I think the most important thing moving forward is just take out this bottom tier 1 tower, and that is something that Erase is not wanting to allow them to do. I'm not sure if he can get a kill on his own, but he's going to attempt it maybe with AI Ice Blast, but it doesn't look like he sent it off just yet.
Kind of playing around a little bit with his food, seeing if you can maybe potentially bait them to stay a little bit longer here as a race. But this Buck is going to be fairly problematic to deal with.
Like, again, just pretty easy for him to just shove in these lanes. A couple of decays, wave is gone. He's just gone full Aura Bot like we were expecting.
Oh, they're in trouble. Look at this backstab that's coming in from Liga. It is just X Mark, Torrent, Repel, everything. He at least gets a Remnant away, but can Mirage stay away? That's the real question. So he does. And Ike will bite the dust, but it's 6k. 20 minutes into the game. There is a long road ahead here.
He's not really the one that you're concerned about dying, though. Like, he got the Repel off. That was the big difference, that fight. It means your Ember Spirit doesn't die. It means he doesn't give up the ton of unreliable gold that he's got. means that he's able to get closer and closer to, looks like a Radiance that he's going for, just to have a little bit more of that damage going back the other way. Don't hate it. Wouldn't hate a BKB either, though, so that you're not completely relying on the Omni Knight to be able to do that for you.
Let's see if they can take down Malik here. So he is very big and very scary. So they are able to deal with the Dirge. The AA Ice Blast is going to completely well, no, okay. It's going to hit on the pond line.
Should be fine. And it's just delay. That's all that they're trying to do. Although, might be able to get a quick kill here onto the Muerta, and nicely done by Rinsick once again.
Alright, so
they've got
Rinsick's
vision, but it's just daytime.
Been able to get himself at least 2 kills now, and seems like a little bit deja vu from game number 1. You know, Rinsick's just kind of sitting back, just farming around, just hitting creeps, killing heroes. Fortnite Man now has his blink in his Yules, going to build towards that BKB. And especially for somebody like Mirage as well, it's going to take him a little bit of time to get back into this game. I do definitely agree with you. I probably would have liked a little bit more of that HP, especially as we're seeing now. I guess it's not getting too scary because Erase is not going that full kind of damage control build. He's going to go to the Lincolns first. So I guess he can't get blink stuns. I mean, that's the only real thing that needs to be scared of. He can get Yules. He can get speared though.
Yep.
Well, that comes up, so...
Chain gang as well. Of course, he can just phase shift it, but still. Hold on, who we caught out here on the puck? Just a Willow, not the worst. And they're going to take that time to be able to clear out this bottom tier 1 tower. TPs are coming in, though. Able to get away. Oh,
TP from Malik. Alright. What are you doing? Oh,
the Ukes.
I think he overduked.
Oh, nice try. Oh, never mind.
Okay.
He's out.
You know, utilize the repel. So they're going to try and make a fight towards the top side here. They want to try and get you. He's going to be very, very difficult to get though. Conker, before he gets his boat off, it's going to be very, very scary. Now with the armor, gets out on as well. Wants to try and TP away, but it's the Yule Scepter up into the air. They're going to keep the Conker here and they're going to get the kill as well. Fortnite Man, unfortunately, is probably going to bite the dust. Yes, he will. And the final item on the menu is Respect. And again, it's a 5 kill streak.
Tormentor? They can Tormentor off the back of this. They've still got about a quarter of the duration of the God Strength left. Looks like they want to try and go for another kill, but I don't know. Rinsick is probably saying, bro, I don't have my amped up damage anymore.
Doesn't have amped damage, doesn't have his BKB either. So they're going to lose Ike, and they're going to lose the Tormentor as well here. Although is going to throw some vision on the Tormentor at least to see if they will want to fight that a little bit later on.
Mirage and smoke pops.
Mirage has his own radiance up now as well.
Yeah.
So a little bit more of that extra burn damage. Okay, so he's going to get the BKB. Well, I'd imagine it's what? BKB ads for Mirage potentially here?
Yeah. Seems good to me.
Just trying to see what the timeline is here for Liga. Do you start to feel the pressure if you're Liga with some of the heroes that you have? You know, you've got Malik here on the Undying. Does he lose his usefulness as this game goes on? Amplified damage rune though comes in from a raise. Wants to see if they can take down Fortnite.
Oh, perfect.
He was up in the air. That's a perfect brambles there. Does not hit the terrorize though. So Ponlo's going to see if they can try and get this fight going. Fortnite Man is able to pin Malik there.
He's alive.
The wall as well. They keep them all alive thanks to Ike. They want to try and come in now. They're going to get onto the backside.
Oh, they found the puck.
You can find out the puck, and they do. They get the 2-tap, and that's a see you later onto the puck. It's a raise. Who's a raise from this game, and Malik getting kited out. There's a lot of damage that Ponlo can do here. They have to be careful of the zombies though. Not all too much HP on everybody left remaining, so they're just going to leave it be. God Strength now is starting to wear thin. They want to go forward. Ringstick comes in. He's able to catch out there onto the Muerta. Has to pop his BKB to stay alive. And they will just eventually get kited out. They have to just fall back here. They can't overextend too much. The puck will be up in another 20 seconds. No BKB, no God Strength from their Sven.
Yeah, they need to back up at this point.
Towards the Tormentor.
Ponlo. Very ballsy position to be in. him back off in time. I want to see. I mean, we're not getting a moment's peace, but I really want to see that that previous gank attempt. Should be okay.
Ike is around in the area. It looks like they want to try and fight. I don't know if this is a good place for you to try and fight. Renzik goes in. Now they get the chain coming forward as well. Need to try and see if they can get this first kill. They do. Renzik though, BKB in God strength again. There's not that many utility left for this side of
They'll get respect,
Kalmychatas. Do get respect, and they look for another. So the AA as well as the Mortar go down. God strength is back up. One
got another.
They can cut around the conquer. Fortnite Man's getting oh so low. Misses out on the God's rebuke, but they eventually get the damage and they kill another. Liga, they're starting to crumble here, Matt. They're starting to fall apart. They haven't been able to complete what they started, and it is just Fight City, and it feels like it fights all on Kalmychata's terms. It feels like every single time that they are starting a fight, it is their fight to start.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's right next to Tier 2 towers. It's right where they've got all of this vision, and now they're going to get that Tormentor as well. Pondo moving away just in time to be able to avoid the death from the reflection coming through there. It's going to be Ike's bad, honestly, for an Omni Knight support to be able to get that double purification coming through. Now, Fortnite Man, he is 0-7-6, but he's doing a great job of just, again, dangling his life out there, making them want to have to go for him, and he's just surviving that little bit of extra time that, you know, the rest of the team needs to be able to get there. You've got Blink Dagger now on the Sven. He's level 20 as well. He's eclipsed them in net worth, and he still hasn't died a single time.
Yeah. And Morales as well in that previous fight that I saw from the replay. Actually died to a neutral crit.
I still want to see that previous gank attempt on Fortnite Man up the very top, because he used his Yule Scepter to snap the Dream Coil. He got the distance perfect, that when he Yulesed it up, it actually broke the Dream Coil without him taking any damage. So if that doesn't work, I feel like it's a big play, but it seems very minor. But I think the next sequence of like 7 kills going Kalmychata's way don't happen if he doesn't survive that.
It's exactly what you're saying, right? It's just it's all about the dangling, and then the rest of your team can do the tangling. So they can continue to keep this game alive. And there was, what was it? Almost 10k about 8 minutes ago, and now they're ahead by a couple thousand gold. Yeah, so yeah, the difference.
And you've got a BKB on the Ember, and you've got
close to 10k.
Level 18 on the Ember as well. And they want Roshan because they've got basically everything up. Daedalus, by the way, on Rinsic.
Yes, Daedalus BKB at the ready as well here for Mirage, and it looks like Liga are tails between their legs. Okay, that's a little bit of an awkward one there by Fortnite Man, but he at least gets the AA out of the way. They do take one down. I want to see if they can try and deal with this tombstone though. It's quite healthy. Got a couple of auto attacks, see if they can get through this. Fortnite Man getting oh so low. They get everybody up and healthy thanks to Ike. Now we're looking to try and take down this Mark. Fortnite Man is the one that goes down with the Undying. He is getting clapped by this Sven, who's been, again, a very hard hero to deal with. He will just tip you away. Morales wanted to try and get that kill there. The BKB just wore off, and he will be able to get the kill with Mirage. Does he have a way of getting out of here, though? He is silenced up, and without that BKB and no mana left, he will have no way of getting out of here. He almost took you with him.
That blade mail at the very last second, just waiting for the Radiance to tick that little bit further. I think he resigned himself to his death, but maybe thinking that he could take the Conquer with him. Not going to be the case, though, and it wasn't the perfect initiation from Fortnite Man, to be fair. Wasn't able to land that stun, meant that you were able to get that Ice Blast off, but still, I like the confidence that they're showing to be able to just continuously go for these kills.
Yeah, I think the thing is, for me, as you said, just not having that clean initiation just meant that Fortnite Man, you can see here, obviously having the entirety of this Ice Blast on him, gets him nice and low. Just doesn't really have that good way of resetting. And if that's like a nice, quick, clean kill, they probably don't re-engage if you're Liga, correct? Like, you know, you're in a fight like that where your AA just gets instantly tapped, and you just go, okay, like, we're not going to fight this anymore. We don't have Ice Blast. But the fact that it was a little bit of a longer engagement just meant that this fight was going a little bit further. As you can see here from Mirage, he definitely had opportunities to be able to pull out of that fight at certain points, but wanting to commit to see if he could take someone with him. So
I think his charters still had like 20 seconds on cooldown or something like that, so he would have had to remnant away and all that, and I just don't know if he had the mana to be able to do it. He's almost level 20 though, which you know, consider maybe Searing Chain's damage is what he wants to go for, considering he has got the Chain Gang. I know Sleight of Fist hero damage is generally pretty good, but I think he's just concerned about living in these team fights for as long as possible, considering Blade Mail, Radiance, even just the Aghanim Shard that he's been able to purchase up. Just that general AoE that he's got.
See what he does want to go for. Look, yeah, that's your change damage. So makes a lot of sense here. So Liga have been able to wrangle back this lead. Looking at some of the items that are coming up for them, the Puck has the Lincolns fully completed as well as the Parasma. So definitely hitting these absurd levels of damage here for a race. It's actually quite hard to take down as well. 2100 HP.
Fortnite man has to be careful here.
Boy, does have Yules and BKB, but looks like they found a juicier target instead. They've been able to find out the Sven here. Torrent goes up in the air. Rinzik is able to at least get the repel, so doesn't have to pop his BKB for that, but what his fights are going down. They found out the Parker race.
The shield group to the left as well. Yeah. Make sure he can grab it.
Fight it here, so it looks like they have been able to win that race. Was the Ember Spirit.
What now though? I think you did use the Dream Coil, so it feels like a pretty alright fight to want to engage onto if you're Kalmychata, but is it something where they just need another item? Doesn't seem like they're too close to being able to pick up anything in the too distant future. Honestly, didn't seem like the worst Roshan timing. You know, they were kind of around it. They've got some decent vision. You didn't have Dream Coil available, but I'm really thinking that they just need some extra little bit of oomph to be able to try and make something happen. Because they're really playing on the knife's edge here.
I just feel like they were trying to pull a few strings, maybe trying to make that rotation from Liga towards the top side of the map so they can walk into Roche, because that looks like that's what they've done. They've hit the God Strength and they're trying to take down Roche. Looks like there's no response here from Liga. They were able to at least deal with a bit of their lanes. And they are just starting to ultimate into it here. So they will eventually get clipped by it, but at this point, Aegis is already gone.
Doesn't have the shard either on Respect. I think that's the big difference, you know, the reason that people are always wanting to go for the early Tormentors, particularly if you've got the AA, because he needs to queue it up for himself and buy it. I'm not sure if Link Dagger is the best overall option for him, but maybe just wanting to make sure that whichever target they initiate onto, you're not going to get Guardian Angeled, repelled, purification, whatever it might be. Found you.
Dude.
Look like
Ballsy not to pop the BKB there. Ponlo was getting close.
He doesn't have the setup quite yet on Ponlo.
Looks like they're going to try and commit towards this bottom side. Maybe trying to catch out Rinzik.
Like in Fortnite Man's positioning, he's just waiting to see who makes a move and kind of pressuring in that top tower as well. He's trying to bait someone to TP back so that they can get an outnumber going through, but doesn't look like Liga are taking the bait at this stage. Just using you to straight on right click into that tower.
And it seems like Kalmychata are happy to play this a little slow. They understand that a lot of these team fights can go one way or another. All it takes is a nice initiation on one team. Hold on. There's a shield rune that is on Mirage here. Ike's around the corner, so they will drop the repel. Pops the BKB as well, though, so maybe he's put Ike in a bit of an awkward situation. He has Mirage. They want to see if they can get this fight going. Arena of Blood goes in towards the backline here from Fortnite Man. This is a little awkward now for the Kalmychatas.
Should be okay, though. Again, you've used Pierce the Veil, you've used Tombstone, you've used Flesh Golem, you've used Dream Coil. So yeah, they've used a few things themselves, but still kind of feel like you can go back in. The main thing that you would be holding that BKB for would be Dream Coil at this stage. My eyes are on Rinsick. Doesn't seem like Rinsick wants to fight just yet. He wants to be able to finish up that Swift Blink first. 2.5 minutes left on the edges.
Interesting that Mirage didn't get X marked there. Not sure why you didn't X mark him, but
That's why he gets the
should know that the BKB is on cooldown.
You know what, sometimes we saw all the Kazakhstani brothers at the start of the game tipping each other, and maybe it was just a little bit of good vibes coming through there.
And try to hit him with the. I was going to say something that would have sounded extremely etched. Tried to hit him with the 360 no scope, the 3-pointer, the swish. Just hit him with the torrent boat combination without the X mark.
He's got enough for Ags, by the way, on Mirage, and he's got a freaking arcane rune. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a lot of remnants that are going to be going out, especially with the chain gang as well. It's going to be a lot of damage that's going to come out from this Ember Spirit. I think the question is now, if you're the side of Liga, is there any kind of item that you're waiting for on the horizon? Like, EU is huge. Like, this Conquer's massive. Is there anything that you're...
No, EU is huge.
Is there anything you're looking at in the future to try and kind of tip the scales in your favor? Is it really just the AA shard that you're potentially waiting on?
Probably not, to be honest. Like, it feels like they just want to wait out this Aegis and then wait for Kalmychata to make a mistake. You know, wait for them to overextend a little bit. But how much time are they going to have with this? They've got a minute left on the Aegis. They've got Ember's courier spawning in 15 seconds, sorry. But they're not going to need to use it because he's just ran all the way back to base. Alright, this is it. You got to make a play right now. You got 48 seconds to do it. Quickly shove out the wave.
Well, they have the the Ember.
I'm a little worried with how split up they are at this point in time, though, on Liga. Like, yes, you don't want to take a full-on team fight, but also don't want to be caught up.
Fortnite Man has been able to find out one. The AA goes absolutely bye-byes. There is no way for this AA to get their way back in here. They do have that AA Ice Blast now after a little buyback. Have to be very, very careful, though, if you're you. They're going to come forward here for Mirage, getting very, very low. AA, once again, just trying to throw out this Ice Blast, see if he can clip out onto the atmosphere. It doesn't get it done. Rinsick is again trying to walk away as well. Malik's getting very, very low when it comes to that mana. It is very, very scary for this Undying. Once again, Fortnite Man will walk up into the air, though. He's going to try and get himself away, but he will not be able to make it. The Omni Knight goes down as well to erase in the back line. So it looked like it was a good start for them. They just can't convert this into any big core kills.
Yeah, they got the Hex onto the AA instead of the puck. It would have been a completely different fight if you're able to take out a race. But of course, he's got the Lincoln Sphere as well, so easier said than done. At least have the glyph at its high ground.
Blinks in Yules as well as the Hex. Needs to pop it himself to see if they can get that kill on the puck. Because I feel like the puck is the real scary hero here. Yes, Yu does quite a lot of damage, but you can kite him out. You can try and get around him. You can do so much more. The Yules comes up into the air here on Yu, so he will be stuck a little bit here towards the tier 3. So Mirage will want to pull these creeps back. They won't lose the tier 3 tower, and it looks like Rinsick wants to try and go in here. The puck is TPing away, but they haven't been able to convert it. Okay. Ooh, bit zealous there on the God's strength.
And
someone. They're coming back. It's going to be Malik. They want to try and go back in here. 2 taps the Undying. Thank you very much for you. And Mirage is going to keep going forward here. Does have the Aghanim Scepter. Wants to try and find Amoralis. He's able to find him, so the X-Lance is not going to work out. But now up onto the high ground goes Rensing. Does not have anything to play around with here, so he has to pop the BKB to walk away, especially because the God Strength has gone away. Okay, looks like we're going to try and see if they can get this fight going. Arena of Blood will go down. They take down the Inverter. They will also try and take down Fortnite Man. He goes dead as well. 85 seconds without his life anymore. Looking to see if Ponlo can walk away from this fight, and he will. There's no way to stop that TP. And again, it's just a lot of these tiny little skirmishes here, Danok, where it's going one way or another. Nobody's really getting that perfect opportunity to cut down any of these big calls, and especially with Malik having that ceaseless dirge. You get a big pick-off in taking down the Undying, but you can't do anything about it because the instant respawns.
We've got 4 different Outworld staffs in this game as well. I would have to imagine it's just trying to dodge out, like, for against Liga team, the boat combination plus potentially the AA blast if you're really on point with it. And then from the other side, what is it, like Sven stun onto you, I guess, would be the main thing that you're trying to dodge, or maybe Cursed Crown, maybe Syringe. Yeah, I guess, maybe. It'd be really rough though, the range on that is quite large. It's just such a close game still. It's actually 76% win probability for Liga team. I'm not sure if I agree with that. It's only a 4K net worth lead. They haven't lost any lanes of racks so far, so it's not like the lanes are going to be passively pushing in. The damage is only going to ramp up further and further, whereas I'm not sure if I see outside of this Ags for a race, like where is the extra damage coming from at this stage of the game? Well, okay, look at use quick buy right up here. That's where it's coming from. It's getting to that stage.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like for you, he's reached that critical mass of, yeah, I'm super tanky and it takes him a long time to kill me, but I don't kill anyone just yet.
I also feel like, do you feel like Undying's items have stayed pretty much the same for the past like 20 minutes? Because I do. You know, we see a Blink Dagger and a fresh-ish BKB, but it's not really what you come to expect over 20 full minutes, you know?
Yeah, it definitely feels like he is starting to fall behind, especially, you know, in comparison to Fortnite Man, who has very similar net worth, but his net worth effectiveness is a lot more than what it is for the Undying, right? You know, the Blink, Yules, BKB, and Hex, like, that's basically guaranteeing you allowing the Sven to just delete anybody that they catch with the Hex. So
hold on. Big smoke coming through here, potentially catching up Fortnite Man.
BKB does have a repel around him, so they will be able to at least get this first arena going down. Malik, though, has to be very, very careful. They're going to come in here with Rensing, seeing how much damage he can do. He's trying to chop through the Undying. He's able to get through him with the Abyssal Blade. Now, the back on the Omni Knight, Sven is oh so low. Who loses his life? 100 seconds on the Asylum with no Rensing, and this could be all off the back of Mirage doing so much work in the backlines, takes down these supports. So it is just the cores that are left available here, and Ponlo going to see if he can get himself away from you. You still has that BKB, but with the damage that comes in from Arrays, it's enough for them to take down Ponlo. So, Sven, no buyback.
What did he die to? Majority Puck was doing the damage to the Sven, and honestly, Erase is doing a phenomenal job so far. Doesn't even have that as well for the Puck. Yeah, that'd do it. Similar sort of thing with Mirage.
Does have to be careful. And it's a nice little dodge that comes out there from Mirage. Ike is here in the back line as well. They will pop the BKB here from the Conquer, and Mirage is just going to stand his ground, especially with that repel. He wants to see if he can take down the Conquer here as well. They have not gotten in.
Oh, he goes back in.
Zones, and he will be able to take down the Conquer. Unfortunately for Mirage, I think he just overstepped his bounds just a little bit because I just had buyback. I brought back. There is no repel. You have to be very careful here if you are the Ember Spirit. He wants to try and take down a race who will just go into the OD Astral Spirit realm. Let's see if he can take down a Puck. So Mirage holds. They lose a tier 3. He will have to use his buyback.
Just outrun the charges. That's the thing. Like, he would have kept going if he just had anything left to be able to play with. And I mean, he had a fair amount just because of how many kills he was getting. What was it? A triple kill solo, basically, on the back lines, just through existing as this Ember Spirit. I mean, he's got the Veil, has, I believe, now Shiva's Guard completely finished up as well. It's going to be amazing just for providing a lot of vision in a lot of these team fights.
Yeah, just that extra bit of amplification as well to try and deal with the Conquer.
Pressure's up, by the way. Like, you kind of just go for it for Ember, surely.
Yeah.
Force the Ember Spirit, Conquer to buy back. Respect is making its way over there.
$15 away. They have found him out. They can find the race. They have not been able to pop his missions. Right now, they're just going to go in onto the back line, go directly onto the dirt sheet. I want to see if they can take him down before he gets down any of these spells. He doesn't get anything done. Rensik's going to go directly on top of the Ancient Apparition and see you later. That is 3 members of Biting the Dust. Extremely quick here for Liga team. And now you 100% walk into the pit and you will give an Aegis to Mirage. Ursha's roared, so they know exactly what's going on here for Liga.
Surely Erase can't do this. Surely not.
He's going to walk in. They get the snap on the first bit of the Dream Call. Erase is still sitting inside of that realm, and the Aegis goes the way of the Ember Spirit. And there will be no stealing today, sir.
Cute little attempt, for sure. Even could potentially punish the puck if he goes for the power rune, but it's top.
That's a shield rune for Mirage, so it gives him a little bit of extra freedom.
I wonder if he's even just going to stick himself out there, you know, shove this lane in really effectively. They're still at tier 1 top, by the way. You know, it's honestly worth just going in and 3-clicking it at this stage on the Ember Spirit just to take away one of their TP points.
So it was a nice little attempt there from Erase.
No problem, I'm in trouble. Dream Coils him as well.
Not much that he can really do here for Ponlo. He's kind of just wasting time, I guess.
Could have terrorized, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just, you don't TP in on the Muerta if that tower's dead, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. So now we go back to the wonderful late game Dota conundrum of how many creeps can I hit while this Aegis is up. And I guess
who's going to overextend first, basically.
Yeah. And if I was a betting man, I would say the first person to make a aggressive movement is going to be Fortnite Man.
Oh, for sure.
He's going to be looking for something.
He's going for that victory royale is what he's doing.
It's too early in the morning for you to say that to me with a straight face. I know you straight face though too. Alright. Mirage. Looks like he missed the chains combo on respect.
Can we call when he uses the BKB, can he's popped his chug jug?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm never saying that. There's a fight. So we can talk about this. So the Abyssal Blade, big old Lotus Lord to be able to get that Abyssal Blade going back onto Rensik. So he's used a lot of his BKB. He has to use that refresher. Wants to try and take down the Dirge, but he's taking away the Nightfall. Will be able to get himself away, but it's the X-Master spot, and he gets himself back into the channel though, but it doesn't matter. So he's going to lose his life. They've been able to keep Rensik still alive. He wants to try and get some more of this HP back in, and he stays alive. Yu goes down. They're looking to see if they can try and get this kill here with a race, and they do. They turn it back around with Malik trying to go in and take down Mirage as well, who's just burning through this Undying, but he gets so much of his HP back. They're just going to leave him here, and Malik is going to turn and fight against Mirage. He wins the fight. Fortnite, man, you got to help your buddy out. Respect is able to take down Ponlo as well, and it is a very terrible fight. If you are looking on the side of the Ember Spirit is losing their life again. It's a race who is unstoppable in these fights, and it is just the determining factor for every single one of these fights has been a race. I think if this game's going to go any longer here, Danog, you have to start looking towards this puck. You have to kill him.
But how do you do it? You know, like, I feel like that's part of the reason why you've even gone the Yules for Fortnite, man. Like, yes, it saved him a few times, and it does allow you to, in theory, set up for kills onto a race, but he's got that freaking Lincolns. He's got an Outworld staff as well to be able to play around with, so unless you're literally queuing things up perfectly with a Yule Scepter into the Scythe of Vice, you ain't killing this puck.
And I think that line is going to mean that Liga are going to try their best here. So it's an arena of blood from Fortnite, man. Just
For the vision.
catch out on the park.
He just wanted to get rid of the vision so that the Rax wasn't hittable. As simple as that. He doesn't even have a refresher. Like, he's going queued up, but I have to have thought that it was valuable to have that, especially with Sven respawning in 5 seconds, maybe just expecting that they wouldn't stick around while got Rinsick coming up. Just 2 deaths again for the man on the Sven.
2 impactful deaths, so that's what happens with these calls in these late game scenarios is every single one of these deaths can be oh so impactful.
I do wonder, like, I think Mirage has got the right idea with his itemization, going for a Wind Waker next, as opposed, and I kind of want to see Fortnite Man do a similar sort of thing. There have been a few times where he's just lost like 75% of his health because he's had to sit inside of this Dream Coil with, of course, the piercing debuff immunity talent to it. Whereas if he can just snap it mid-air, then it feels like he can actually look to rejoin a team fight a whole lot more easily. And he's already got the Yules.
You don't have the sign.
Have to see what these next round of items are going to bring us down, because we are at 50 minutes. We're ever approaching the event horizon that is tier 5 items. Whether or not they're needed is a completely different question.
Another smoke out. Are they going to be able to catch? I mean, Ponlo's kind of deep on his own. The smoke breaks. I'm not really sure what the expected outcome is. They smoke themselves. He doesn't have a link for himself.
He goes into the Shadow Realm, so he's buying a bit of time here, but that's all that it really is. He at least has buyback. They're going to see if they can get this fight going. Rensick is sitting on the sideline here. He wants to go in with that BKB as well. Walking forward, gets nullified, so look at how much damage is going forward here. He's just standing and fighting. He wants to see if he can get this game done, but unfortunately for him, that looks like it is done.
Where are his
Not the way
boys?
that he had wanted. Everybody else is sitting in the backlines, and that's just not the fight that you wanted to have here. And Ike will be losing their life as well, and this looks like it is a blunder at the 52-minute mark.
I'm not sure what that was. You know, that was just a couple of people doing their own thing completely away from the rest of the team, and well, you've got a big wave of creeps inside the base. Nothing really to stop them from continuously pushing forward. Ember Spirit doesn't have BKB, and luckily for him, he has that Wind Waker. What now?
Try and go forward here onto the park. How much damage they have here? They've been able to keep him at least on towards the wall for a long time. Hexed up as well, but just need that extra bit of damage, and Ponlo loses his life as well. And Danog, I think this potentially could be a game that we go to the 3rd.
I think so as well. It's going to be pretty fitting as well. It has felt a lot more even than we saw in the previous series, even though that was a 3-gamer as well. It felt like both teams could go either way with the outcome of this one. Oh, just misses on the spear there.
From Fortnite Man. So they're
just trying to delay.
Hold for 30 seconds. They will have Rensick back. They do have a blink as well, so they can buy an extra couple of seconds. Fortnite Man's going to try his best. Walk forward, seeing how much damage he can do. Not really able to do much here as well, so they're just going to keep cleaving through these tier 4 towers. The race is going to keep going forward. Fortnite Man
needs to go in.
Best. Have not been able to do all too much, so they're just going to go in towards the backline here. They've taken out the Ancient Apparition, looking towards the Ancient here. Sitting oh so low. Race is just focusing on towards the Ancient, seeing how much they can do, and it is not going to be enough for Rensick to hold on and try and keep this game alive. It will be a Game 2 victory here for Liga team. They push it to 53 minutes, but they get it done, Danog, and that means they are forcing a 3rd if they do want to see any more of